Hello, world.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, I know y'all not used to this type of intro, but hey, it is what it is, man. We rolling. We are unsupervised tonight. That's what the hell.
We are educated and unmedicated. Becky Cutie Rose. Shout out.
Hey, yeah, this is the 4040 Network. That is Jayhawk. I am Woe, and Grannee not with us tonight, man.
She's not with us tonight. She left us unsupervised. So,
man,
the guys have taken over.
Yeah. But ladies, for real, don't run. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, we got a couple of sports topics, but it's gonna be deeper than sports. You feel me? Yep. Maybe that's what we should have titled this one, deeper than sports. You feel me?
Deeper.
Been two big topics going on this week, man, and we gonna dive into them. Definitely gonna get into the Shannon Sharpe situation. I know we're a little bit behind other folks, but I promise you it's worth it because we got to spend and not many others have. And then we have the debacle that was the NFL draft when it came to one Shedeur Sanders. And I got a different spin to that too.
And don't forget Shiloh.
Well, we'll talk.
Yeah. Shiloh my boy too. So
listen, Jacksonians love Shiloh.
But Shiloh is he's that dude.
He is good people. You feel me? He is good people. Matter of fact, he was one of the ones when he got drafted. Jackson State made a post congratulating him, and he made sure he retweeted it with the whole "Thank you, Jackson."
I've seen pictures of him.
He's never forgotten. His time there. He never forgot his people. But anyway, man,
he graduated at J State by his lonesome. He was by himself.
Yeah. That's what I said. So
he can finish his degree at J State.
So we gonna get into that. But first and foremost, when it comes to the host of the 4040 Network, times is hard, and life is life.
Life happens.
In
real time. Real time.
Our girl, Cheryl, aka Grannee, she is having a bit of a situation right now. I'm going to leave a link in the comments. And for anybody and everybody who's able to be a blessing, this is in Cheryl is in dire need right now. Yeah. She is, I believe she's still in the hospital, right, Jayhawk?
I believe so. But I know she had therapy earlier, but I'm not quite sure what her whereabouts are.
But anyway, she had an unfortunate accident, has broken her leg.
Yeah.
And now when I say broken, you know how you do that chicken wing when you really want to get into it? Yeah, it went that kind of ugly. But if you know Cheryl, man, Cheryl's very independent. She a hustler, and ain't nothing worse than a hustler who's immobile.
Yeah. She's on injured reserve right now. We know, and so we're sending out some links. We're asking everyone to help us support her through this tough time because it's not if we hit tough times, it's when. Right. So it's been an old saying from an old preacher back in the day that said, either you just getting out of a storm or you just getting in a storm, but keep moving forward, right? So help us support Grannee in this situation she's in.
And real talk, I know people see GoFundMe's and they might think a little skeptical or whatever, man. But listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a very serious situation.
Very serious.
This is how we keep our girl afloat, man. So if you've been a supporter of the 4040 Network, please donate to the cause right now, man. That's the link in the comments. It is also have been reposted on my Facebook page as well. But y'all make sure y'all show a silent man, because that's a side of woman right there.
Exactly.
That's the reason that the 4040 Network is here. Because she's here to help. That's the main thing. And so same way she's here to help others, let's show up for her and help her,
Exactly.
All right. So now let's get to business now, man.
Let's break in. We talking about Shannon. Uncle.
We're gonna start it up.
Uncle Big Black Baby Gravy.
Yeah, full.
Man, what's wrong with Unc, man? What's going on?
Listen here, man. So the Shannon Sharpe miss. I call this segment. We'll call this segment "Sharpe As A Tack" with a question mark. What the name of the show is?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess. That brother Dole right there, right now, man. I mean, it's almost you want to title it "How to Lose Millions of Dollars."
So here we go. Shannon Sharpe is a well-known Hall of Fame NFL tight end who also has a thriving career in sports media, where he got to start. Well, really, he got to start over at CBS Sports and things like that. But he really hit a stride once he got over to Fox Sports with Skip Bayless and they did Undisputed.
Right.
He became, I don't want to say America's sweetheart, but definitely America's uncle, because Shannon was known for attacking Black topics with no remorse. Like, he didn't care that he had a white partner in crime. He didn't care that he was on Fox Sports. He didn't care nothing about that. He was going to speak his mind. He was going to represent his folks. He also did a little bit of cooning over there, but we ain't going to skip. Skill. Don't do that, Skill. Don't do that, Skill. But everybody else jumped into it, so let me get into it. These hoes gonna thrive. Shannon Sharpe gonna ride, and the damn show won't be Lakers in 5. Listen. Shannon is a 56-year-old man, and I say his age for a reason. 56-year-old man.
And how old was his counterpart?
The counterpart that recently came out and started the process, basically making it seem that basically she's had Shannon raped her. At the time, he was 54. The young lady was 19. Woo! Now, legally, that is grown.
Depending on what state.
Blackly, that shit ain't right. That shit ain't right. That's a 35-year gap, my boy.
Yeah, it is. What do you have in common with a 19-year-old?
Hey, man, because some people having children after 35 is considered late. My boy, you out here doing these kids. And yes, I say kid, because at 19, your full frontal lobe ain't developed.
She's not. She's still immature. She still has a lot of growing to do. Emotional, her emotional. I'm lost right now. Yes, it's not there yet. Right?
Nah.
She's not the woman that she would grow into being if not interrupted. So
here's why I want to get into this with you, though. I want to get to this point, though, because I want to ask you about this one. And I really want to hear you on it. So Shawty, it was 19 years old at the time.
Right.
Okay. And the whole ordeal came out where she's suing for $50 million. Okay.
It was 10 at first, right?
Well, here, that's what came out later on. So it was $50 million. That's what she's suing for. And then I saw initially who her attorney was, Tony Busby. And if you go back and look recently, Tony Busby was the one who came in Jay-Z about a sexual assault case involving a minor. He also was an attorney that was on the opposite side of the Diddy case. And he was repealed from that as well. So you done came for Jay-Z, you done came for Diddy. That boy said I wouldn't say blackly. I want to hear from you, Ross, too, on 54 and 19. You think that shit right? Talk to us. But anyway, we didn't do it right. What up, Ross? You see this? Listen. Ross. Since you here, show some love, man. Grannee is injured. She down. Broke a leg, my boy. And the hustler is immobile. this link. Click that link.
Rounding up the troops.
Show some love, man.
Yep.
She in need, bro. She in need. She's in the and just so you know, we dead serious. She's in need. Anyway, so where I'm getting at is some other information was starting to come out, and Shannon Sharpe and his attorney tried to warn us, and they said basically it's not what you think, it's kinks.
Oh, really?
So the girl was, text message. He leaked. Matter of fact, Shannon himself released text messages. Well, she was talking about put that black baby gravy in me.
Mm-hmm.
She was
big black baby gravy.
Hey man, we unsupervised tonight. It is what it is, bro. But she said she want that big black baby gravy put in her. She had a bunch of text messages basically showing that they had a consensual relationship according to the text messages. And this is how they talk to each other. So apparently, according to the text messages,
she set him up.
There was some role playing, which involves some race relations.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's where the big black, because now I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I already don't like. Man, look, we family. Look, I don't like salmonella chicken. I don't. Okay. You know what I mean? I don't. Give me medium rare. You know what I'm saying? Medium rare.
Gotcha.
You got me. Okay. All day long. I already don't like the salmonella chicken. But since he playing, I'm like, for those of you who do, aka like to play in the snow.
Bunny hunters.
When you see the bunny hunter, man, you gotta have a little sense about you. You can't just
go get him, son. Go get him, son.
You can't just dive off in
the snow.
You can't just do that.
Just jump off in the snow.
Just dive. I'm talking about like
reckless
abandonment. Ooh, I'm about to dive in. Like, you can't do that. These red flags are there. When she says anything about big black anything, if she talking about you, red flags should be flying like, hey. Shannon didn't run from that. It was a role play. That's why he was okay with having those conversations.
Okay.
But then she decided she was going to release some phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
The phone calls sound bad. I ain't going to lie to you. Oh, they sound bad.
Choking.
Where you at, Ross? 54? 19, I don't have a problem with it. That type of is kind of common from what I've seen. No, sir.
No, what I've seen, because I'm in my 50s. I ain't got nothing in common with a 19-year-old.
At all. Not even sexually.
We're not even mentally compatible. There's no conversation to be had with.
Even if we are just talking, like I don't even want to know about your man.
I have children who are older than me.
My sexual experience is completely different from yours. I don't want what you have to offer. You ain't finna break mine. These young girls be doing some wild, but anyway, man.
Okay.
But anyway,
I'm built only for the grown and sexy.
This girl released information in the phone call where basically she was allowing it to play out, where it seemed like, and I ain't gonna lie, she says it like it's a standard phone call. If you listen to it, it seems awkward, almost like it's been edited.
It does seem a bit edited.
Yeah, because he's you know what you said to me, and this will fuck me. I ain't gonna lie to you, fuck me up. He's trying to say, he said,
want me to choke you.
I'm gonna come over there and choke the shit out of you. And he said that he actually used the phrase big, but you won't see a big black man choke the shit out of a little white girl. Like, it's a role play thing. I don't know what kind of kink it is, but I'm not here to kink shame. I do want to say that
between two
communities do need to be a little more open-minded and not be so quick to shame people's kink. Because Shannon was so afraid of his kinks being shamed, that's where the $10 million came from. He didn't want that information getting out that he liked white girls. He liked young white girls, and he liked to be the big black monster on the young white girls.
So let's break it down a little bit more. Uncle Shannon has been having a lot of oops in the last 12 months. I mean, it was that thing with Michelle when he was talking Michelle through her issues.
Yeah.
And that was like less than 6 months ago.
And my Michelle right there. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, right? And now I'm like, bruh, you're gonna have to put a muzzle on what you're doing. Now, I ain't kink shaming nobody, but bruh.
Hey man, do what you do. Listen, whatever you do sexually, that's your business. And I respect that. But if you can't find somebody to cooperate with you, if you are dealing with somebody who is immature enough to look at you as strictly a meal ticket, that's on you, my boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whatever comes to Shannon Sharpe behind this young girl,
you got it coming, player, because you know they're coming for
you left yourself open and vulnerable, and nobody, and I do mean nobody, can save you from this. Like, you're gonna really have to go back and expose some stuff. But I'm telling you, when I seen that junk talking about some, she said something. I saw her. She released a set of messages too, and she said something like, "I told you not to put it in my ass." And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was sitting there looking when I was reading the messages, going,
Well, okay.
So let's talk about his lack of his lack of guidance, right? Because like I said before on here, we running them up. We are unsupervised. So is Shannon. Shannon is 56, almost 58.
He's 56 years old now.
6 years old. There's
and he got $100 million deal in the podcast world right now. But he is away from ESPN as well.
Yep, because I think they told him fly like a bird. He's gone. So how is it that you are a legit multi-millionaire? Legit. And this young girl looks like she's probably she works at Petco, basically, right? So why is she not on an NDA?
Bruh.
Why is she not on an NDA?
Bruh.
You have too much to lose, Shannon.
This is true, but stupidity and immaturity are two different things.
Thinking with the wrong head.
You can earn the label stupid Shannon. Once you reach a certain level. That frontal lobe, once it has matured, it has come into play, and you still don't know no better. You just stupid. But at 19, sir, it is scientifically proven your frontal lobe is undeveloped.
So he still should have her on the NDA.
NDA.
Definitely.
What part of the game?
He's a brand at this point. Shannon Sharpe is a brand. And indiscretions could definitely tarnish that brand. That's your meal ticket, bro.
I thought Shannon moved smarter than that, bro.
Obviously, I guess they don't raise him like that in some other parts of Georgia. But
I thought Shannon was smarter than that, bro. I thought
Merlin is smarter than that, hopefully.
But here's the thing, though. So this is where I want to get into.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, we already know about the age difference.
Mm-hmm.
We know about the whole he left himself open, exposed, and vulnerable. I also want to make sure we know this too. As much as y'all loved Unc, praised Unc, adored Unc, I do want to ask the Black community question. It's a rhetorical question, but you might want to, really chew on this one. Why do we love to kick people when they fall down? Because notice, we here just really talking, but we're not really shit talking. Because truth be told, these two grown ass men right here. So we know People make mistakes.
Yep.
We also know the laws of gravity. What goes up
must come down.
And you over there going, not me, clown. No. This ain't that. There are a lot of people, they rise and they will fall. Everybody knows, especially when you become a celebrity, they love you now, they will hate you.
But you also have a target on your back.
You will.
You have to protect. So this is something, this came out after Mike. So, you know, Mike Jackson, but boy, loved his music. He was an amazing entertainer. Loved Michael Jackson, right? And everyone was like, man, what's going on with Mike? Is Mike really crushing? Yeah, Mike was. But what Mike did, according to his bodyguards, was Mike had them young ladies to sign an NDA. And then he didn't meet them at their house. He didn't meet them at a hotel. He pulled up in a limo and they got in. They went riding. And they did what they were going to do. And then he put her back out.
Let me drop you back where? Let me send you back to your mama house.
Because can't nobody see in that limo. That was, Michael was schooled properly if you're going to protect your assets.
You know what, though? I'm glad you brought that up, Ross. So you don't have the problem with a man living his best life. So Shannon said he was looking for sinners and Miss B Nasty. Listen to me, Miss B Nasty is a whole grown woman. She doesn't live a grown ass life. That's a 30-plus-year-old woman. And here's the thing. I even hope being a 30-plus-year-old woman, I know it's a 15, 20, 25-year gap between her and him. That's still a 30-plus-year woman who has lived and advanced in her levels of maturity. 19, you are still a child. I don't care what the law says. Your mind is not fully developed. And that can affect your decision making.
It does.
Which is why I'm like, it's okay to smoke. It's okay to vote, but you can't drink.
Crazy.
Having an undeveloped mind means you shouldn't vote.
Be careful. They're gonna move the voting laws back to 35.
I mean, if you're gonna push it back to 21, push it back to 21. Push everything back to 21. But I'm just saying. So yeah, no, I mean, like, so you're still technically 18. The word teen is still on there. Teenage. 19. You're still a teenager.
Yeah. So
you have not lived 2 decades yet.
So what should he do at this point?
I
mean, the canary.
This is where you have to be for real. It's got to be, the only way you can save yourself is to be transparent as hell. That's the only way you could save yourself. You got to show your thick ass. I ain't talking about physically, but I mean, like, you do have to be vulnerable. You got to be transparent as hell and reveal. I ain't got nothing to hide. Yes, I like the white girls. Yes, I like the kinky stuff, and yes, I like to be rough and aggressive or control, whatever, cool. Because trust me, it's a lot of people out there who are into that.
Yep.
It's a lot of people out there, and then some people want to go, that's S&M, yada, yada. I ain't gonna lie to you. Rough sex and S&M are 2 different things.
But whatever is, with 2 consenting adults.
Just own it. Because technically, y'all are legally 2 consenting adults. And the only way you're going to save yourself, you got to be transparent, dog.
50 Shades of Shannon. That's
But he has every right to, I mean, we all talk like that. Like, we like what we like. So, if you like a girl who has a bit of a freak in her, that's okay to say that. If you like a girl who built a servant, that's okay to say that. That's cool. Look, your preferences are your preferences, and we respect it. If you like a cucumber in your ass, do you? Hey, not my forte, but no judgment. However,
yourself.
When you leave yourself open and vulnerable, where people can tap into your income now, they can come for the wealth.
You have not protected the empire. You have not protected your estate. You have not protected your brand. You've done a pitiful job at that. And he needs to hire a PR team and get them going in order to help clean up this image. Transparency, let some things out. You're gonna be known as the freaky unk for a long time. So, maybe he can get some more some more ads and everything else with Roe and all the other ED
medicine, Blue Chew, whatever the thing called.
Blue Chews.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. I know he would. Hey, Stephen A. Listen. I'm gonna have to step away for a minute. I got some personal matter I gotta handle. Things getting a little out of hand right now, Stephen A. But I'm just letting. I'll be back, man. I'm gonna be back. But I understand what we were trying to talk and work around and what we were trying to do. But I got to step away to handle some business. Stephen A. just simply said,
see, that's the bullshit right there. That's bullshit right there, right there.
How is Chad? How's it gonna affect him? Because they had the spot show together. Ocho Cinco.
With ESPN, I think it's gonna probably count, because I think what they were trying to do, I kept hearing rumors that they were trying to transition Stephen A. out of First Take.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was gonna still be on ESPN or whatever, but he was gonna be out of First Take, and they were gonna let Shannon run First Take.
That's a no-go right now.
It's not happening now. Whatever you had in plan for that, because Stephen A. was ready to pass the baton. You see, he's been talking about running for president possibly and getting involved in more in politics. He's ready to move into a different space in life.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he now? 60 years old. So like he's ready to move into a different space in life. And
I think that's a mistake for Stephen.
But now, well, hell, Trump went.
Well, it's not so much his ideas. It's that Stephen A. is really, really private. He doesn't like.
That's the part. I don't think people fully understand. When you become
a public figure,
there is no such thing as privacy anymore.
Nope. And I think that would really,
especially around election time, they digging all in your business.
They finding skeletons galore. So, I mean, I just don't think, because he's railed against that. He's let people go out of his life, people he dated, women he's dated when they said, "Oh, I dated Steve," or "I'm dating Stephen A." He cut them off.
It still can't be no worse than what we've heard about this orange dude. But I feel what you're saying on the privacy.
Yeah. No. So I'm not against his. I'm not saying anything about his platform, because I don't know what Stephen A's platform would be. But I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, what Shannon dealing with him right now, he can still run for president compared to who else is in office right now. But that's for another time, another day.
Yeah, we'll talk about. That's a.
Lord Jesus, I'm gonna need my man here. My man said, "What's the frontal lobe responsible for?"
Google it.
At Ross, I deal with this type of stuff all day long. Simple answers. For some reason, instead of looking it up, people will rather just act up. All right, man. Trust me, it's necessary. I basically have broken it down to your brain in itself is not fully developed. If that doesn't affect your level of maturity and thought processing, I don't know what does. I mean, you would like to think that to make a legit decision, a responsible decision, you need a fully developed brain, right? Just my thoughts. I feel you though, but I'm not knocking it.
Okay, so frontal lobe of the brain controls language, personality, memory, sensory perception. That's integrating the sensory information from the body. It also it controls motor control and executive functions, which is the planning, organizing, problem solving, decision making, and judgment part. That's the biggest part of it. It's the executive functions.
From everything I'm hearing, this is everything you need to officially become a responsible adult.
Yep.
So if that's not fully developed,
so with that not being as with that being underdeveloped, it kind of puts that young lady at a disadvantage dealing with someone who is 50 plus, who's been an adult for a long time. So Yeah,
all lived 3 lifetimes. Like, come on, this is wow.
Yeah. So Shannon, you should listen to Mo.
Yeah, and Cat Williams.
Yeah, man,
you
we
got
still
your it, bro.
You know what? Cat dropped so many gems, so many that it's still reverberating right now on his show. He ain't listened to a word that man said.
So again, Ross, you understand why we have a problem with a 54-year-old man and a 19-year-old girl? That's why I said legally.
Yeah, legally it's okay.
Legally, it's okay. Blackly, hell no.
So, hey, I mean, it's okay if he want to be a sugar daddy.
But this ain't sugar daddy. This man is getting hands up. You getting jacked, my boy.
Yeah.
Hands up. You getting jacked. This is bad, man. This is bad. But praying for the best in that situation. The young lady involved, I ain't gonna lie to you, she looked like a jump off. She looked like a snake. Like, I mean, I ain't even saying look like physically, but I mean like just the way everything is playing out.
Yeah.
You release him, you could tell that stuff because he says stuff, or she'll say she has no response. And
yeah,
somebody saying, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you and you really feel threatened.
No, Shannon, how would that look?
It was a long pause.
Yeah.
Almost like you blanked out something.
So,
and then you go, well, I don't want to be choked.
So it's, yeah.
It just
do better, Shannon. Shannon, my man. Do better, bro. Gotta do better, man. Gotta do better. Gotta do better. This is not a good look. It's not, man, not a good look. And whether it's consensual or not, the way it's been chopped up, it would appear. If this is what I'm thinking it is, and Busby's, because Busby's a snake, we can say Busby's a snake, and he coached her how to chop this up to make it appear as if something was going on that it wasn't. If that's the case, that means it is not only a meal ticket, you are being hella used, and you just left yourself wide open. And what are you learning from this episode? Well, I mean, you're around powerful people and individuals in the sport. You see this happening all the time. Shannon, how did you allow it to get to this point?
And here's the crazy part. When you listen to Shannon talk, he's somebody who's really disciplined. That's the reason Shannon ain't married now and hadn't been married before. Shannon even said it during his professional sports career. I didn't get married because nothing was more important than football. I could not commit to a relationship over my profession. I dedicated all of my time. This is a disciplined man. What you doing? You out here wilding. And I'm just listening to you. And now, as I sit back and I play back over some of the things you said and the things you've done. I watched you do that cooning on Fox Sports with the cigars and the cognac and everything. And now I'm just looking like,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
Yep. So my man Shannon, Lord, hey, we're gonna be watching and see what happens next with Shannon because
but we're not gonna keep you right now.
It's a storm.
Definitely praying for the best. I don't believe, just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but just based off what I'm witnessing, what I've read, what I've heard in the audio stuff and the text messages from the comments and stuff from him and her, she a lying, manipulative little troll. But right now, it looked like she might get him.
Yeah, you gotta protect yourself, fellas, ladies. Protect yourself at all. It's like in boxing. Protect yourself at all times.
Keep your guard up.
Keep your guard up. You never know. It gets snaked. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's get your guard up.
Anyway, man,
because there was no real relationship, or if it was a relationship of convenience, or if it was they were just jumping off the furniture on each other or whatever. Hey, you gotta protect yourself, man.
But listen, we're gonna take a quick break.
Yep.
We'll be right back here on the 4040 Network. When we get back.
Hey, somebody just popped in here. We gonna.
Yeah. What's up, mama? What's up, mama?
It's the
Grannee is
Grandster
in the building. Y'all show her some love.
Say hey. So
we'll be right back.
Hey, does that mean we have to behave because she's in the comments?
Nope.
We ain't behaving tonight.
Bullshit and fuckery will continue when we get back from commercial break. Did I say that right?
After these.
Looking for great music and dope podcasts? BWNC Radio is where it's at. Black with No Chaser Radio. Download the app now. Come for the dope podcast. Stay for the dope music. Also available on Apple stores and Google Play stores.
Tired of your resume getting ignored? Wouldn't it be great to have a resume that stands out? Job seekers are getting ghosted due to ineffective resumes. Meet 1-800-RESUMES LLC. They create ATS-friendly resumes that appeal to both robots and humans, ensuring you get noticed. How it works. They customize your existing resume to match job qualifications by optimizing keywords the ATS looks for. Plus, preparation for interview questions increases your chances of landing the job. With 1-800-RESUMES, you'll experience more interviews, better job matches, and confidence in your application process. What our customers say. Sounds exciting? Call 1-877-520-4040 for superpowered resumes.
And we are back
on the 4040 Network. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a warning real quick, because now we about to get real. I'm gonna be honest with you. No holds bar on this next topic, because I've heard different people from different positions, and I don't really give a fuck right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just let you know. Here's my warning to y'all.
I want everybody back. There's gonna be ball juice everywhere. Everybody get back.
That's my warning. All right.
Warning well taken.
So listen, we are going to get into the topic of Shedeur Sanders. The rise and public fall of Shedeur Sanders. What do you mean fall? Well, he's still a guy, right? Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the fall of him as a person or as a man. His draft stock. We are talking about a quarterback who was considered the top 2, if not the best quarterback in college football this past season. Arguably the most watched quarterback on the most watched team. Because even if you hated Colorado, for some reason people were still tuning in.
Yep.
Because they wanted to see him lose. But a quarterback who threw for over 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions with the worst line in all of college football and no running game. How is it that he didn't get drafted first round, didn't get drafted the second round? Day 3 is when they start the third round, And Shedeur wasn't drafted until the 5th round.
Fifth round.
The 144th pick.
Oh, you can't forget that prank call that was played on him.
The prank call that was played by Jeff Ulbrich.
Mm-hmm. His name was Jackson.
Jackson. Was it Jackson?
Rich. That's the name of the young man, 21-year man.
Jackson Ulbrich.
Mm-hmm. His father was with DC at Falcons, Atlanta Falcons, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's a defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to watch a man who was supposed to go first round.
Yep.
I ain't even saying he be the number 1 pick or the top 5 pick. I ain't even saying that. I'm not going there. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you lames. Listen, I will tell you this. If you did not watch Shedeur Sanders this year, I hate you sideline analysts. You sideline Facebook and Twitter and social media reporters that love to think you know what you're talking about because you come back and recite some stuff that you read on an article or heard on somebody else's show and pocket. Those are their thoughts. Have your own. You can't have your own because you didn't watch. I've been watching Shedeur Sanders for at least the last 4 years. 2 at Jackson State and his last 2 at Colorado.
Well, it was so bad that Trump tweeted on his social platform. What is wrong with? He's a great kid. What is wrong with you guys?
See, here's the thing about that, though. That's a sidebar. Let me go ahead and jump in there real quick. that was not in support of Shedeur. So let's be clear. Trump and the NFL don't get along. Trump wanted to buy a team. He wanted to become an NFL owner, and the NFL owners said
no.
So when this whole thing with Shedeur started coming out, and it starts to look like collusion. Of course, you can't say it is because you have to prove it.
Oh, that's him putting his finger.
The president of the United States tweets out about it because that is his way of saying somebody needs to look into this. He would love nothing more than for there to be egg on the face of the NFL. People that denied him. Because again, he's on a revenge tour. Trust me. That had nothing to do with Shedeur Sanders.
So Shedeur got picked up 5th round.
5th round.
Now, didn't the
Cleveland Browns.
Now, that's where careers used to go to die. Hopefully it's not the situation.
Listen, I still ain't really sold on the fact that they do anything but die there.
So, but they picked up a quarterback in a previous round, didn't they?
They did. Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon.
So how many teams draft 2 quarterbacks?
Back to back?
Back to back. Same year.
The last time I saw 2 rookie quarterbacks be drafted, I don't know if it was back to back, but there was a team in Washington that now goes by the Commanders. And they drafted Robert Griffin III and then turned around and drafted Kirk Cousins.
And that was a while ago. Before then, I haven't heard.
But we haven't seen anything like, and even so, Kirk Cousins wasn't projected to be an RG3. We knew off top what that was. RG3 is coming in to be the man. Kirk Cousins is going to fight for a backup spot.
Yeah. So
that's all it was.
How do we make sense of what the Browns just did?
You can't. If you want to be honest about this, there is no good way to twist this. So when I saw the war room for the Browns, you know, they with the 144th pick, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, University of Colorado, and you turn around and you see the draft room. And their excuse was they were tired. I saw people round 4, 5, 6 when they was drafting people. When they felt they got their man, they were, you know, they was with it. These boys was acting like they was at a golf match.
So this was a save.
And Phil Mickelson just sunk a 20-foot birdie.
Oh my gosh. So at this point,
but we watched a public lynching of the young man's finances, because they're estimating that it cost him anywhere from $30 to $50 million falling the way he did. We watched him be embarrassed on that phone call with the prank calls. And he kept streaming on his platforms. But people kept watching. Here's another thing, too. I'm going to show y'all something. I have never seen yes, this is from the NFL's official account, okay? You see that?
Yep.
$31.5 million. I just want y'all to see. It's the official account.
You said followed by Jonathan Hawkins. You see that?
You show me where the top 3 posts that have been pinned to the page involve the number 1, the number 2, and the number 144th pick. When have you ever seen it?
Wow.
Number 1, number 2,
yep,
and number 3. And the number 144th pick.
Other side.
You feel me? The number 144th pick.
Yeah.
2, 1, 144. Make it make sense. That's on the NFL's page. Pinned. You see the pins. I'm not making this up. You see the pins. Why do you think y'all knew the social media pins mean that no matter what they post, these pins are gonna stay at the top of their page. That's gonna be the first thing you see all the time. Why? Because the 144th pick was supposed to be one of those guys.
Yep.
The NFL draft, the viewership usually dies down after the second round. The viewership was up. They used that man. They used Shedeur, gained money, millions off of that viewership from watching him be hung like that.
That's horrible.
And then I had to sit back and listen to other people talk about how he bombed he sandbagged interviews and he wasn't humble. He came in with his entourage and had headphones with music playing out of him during his interviews and this and this and that. And basically they made it seem like they wanted to humble him, pretty much. But then when it came about the whole thing of how the prank call came about, Ulbrich called to apologize to Shedeur, and then he put it out there. I appreciate you, Shedeur, for even answering my call. I know you didn't have to answer my call. Shedeur said, it's okay. We all make mistakes. In those moments where he was publicly humiliated, embarrassed, what did he show? The thing that people said he couldn't be was humble. I hate what they did to that kid.
So he doesn't fit the stereotypical
now let's do it.
Player.
Now let's do it. Because notice everything I said, I never said anything about his skin color.
He doesn't, but I'm gonna go ahead and go in.
Now let's do it.
The stereotypical black football player come through. So he comes from a 2-parent home. He comes from a family of means. He's great. His GPA is hella good.
Say where he come from too.
Dallas, Texas. Comes from Dallas, Texas.
But what he come from? You got to say it too.
Say it for me.
He come from money.
Yeah. Yep. Well off.
See,
from money.
Shedeur don't need. That's what they didn't like. They're used to drafting young men. You can control them when they need your product. Shedeur didn't need the NFL. He just loves playing football.
His NIL money is pretty damn
That's
good.
another thing. They will want to say, well, he comes from money. His daddy was X, Y, and Z. He made his own money in college.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't his daddy money. Shedeur was one of the top 3 earners.
Yep.
In college.
Yep.
Every year, consistently. Every year. He didn't need the NFL like that. He had bought himself Rolls Royces and Phantoms and big chunked out necklaces and chains and diamonds. All he had done all of it. He has it all on his own.
So this was done to humble a young black man with swagger that didn't need them to throw pennies at him.
He didn't need nobody's sympathy. I don't want your leftovers. He said, one of the things he said that pissed people off was, and I quote, anybody who drafts me, don't draft me if you're not ready to change the culture. People were offended by that. Yep. Last time I checked, if you expected to be in the top 10, the people who draft in the top 10 drafting there for a reason, right? Because they
are difference makers.
Good.
They are difference makers.
Majority of the time, unless you draft a Pat Mahomes or something like that, majority of the time, if you draft in the top 10 one year, guess what you're doing next year? You're going to draft in the top 10 again. Because you still got a lot of holes to fill.
Yep.
So for him to say, be prepared to change it. If you're not ready to change your culture,
don't draft me.
Don't draft me. What's wrong with that? See, his resume may not say championships and everything like his father's, but he still has his father's mentality, and that's a winner.
Yep.
That is an absolute winner.
The kid has heart. The kid plays with his heart.
I don't like how we raise our children to be strong, to be independent, to be confident, to believe in themselves. We always tell them to know who they are, trust the process, do the work. And, I don't like how we do that. And then we turn around and have to watch somebody try to break them because they believe in themselves. They're confident. They know what they're capable of. Mm-hmm. I hated that. That hurt. And that is what made it go beyond just men, women, and football fans watching the draft to everybody's tuning. People who don't even really watch football like that were tuning in. Because there is no way in hell. This is one of the biggest names in football. I ain't even say college football.
In football.
Shedeur Sanders' name is bigger than some of your NFL players.
Trust and believe. Yes.
I'm just
trust and believe.
He ain't been drafted yet. Everybody started tuning in. But what they did to that kid, I didn't even go straight to race. It had nothing. It was about power. It was about control. It looked and smelled like collusion. Even though I know you got to prove that. But it looked and it smelled like it.
It's the same thing they did to brain fart.
Colin Kaepernick.
Colin, yep.
That's what Stephen A said. He said, I just received a text from someone, and he said, they are absolutely right about this. He said, this looks and smells Kaepernickish. Mm-hmm. And he's not saying that it's the same scenario as what Kaepernick went through to get to that point. But as far as what the NFL did, yeah, it looked bad. It looked bad.
It appears that his name was removed from the draft boards of many of the teams.
How? And that's the part I'm trying to understand, that dog.
I have not a clue.
When you looked at it, this is where I want everybody to get to understanding on this one. When you look at it, there were teams. It wasn't a whole bunch of teams who needed quarterbacks, but there was a good amount who did. The New Orleans Saints starting quarterback is Derek Carr, and he has an injured shoulder. may miss the entire year. Taysom Hill was Mr. Football for them. He just played every position, but he was a backup quarterback. He is gone. They have Spencer Rattler out there now, who is a second-year player. And then who? A random backup. So they need another quarterback. They need a proven quarterback because Spencer didn't look good last year.
Nope.
And New Orleans said multiple times. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
They moved on from Wilson, right? They moved on from him.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, Russell Wilson is in New York. The New York Giants could have used him as a. Why not bring in Shedeur and have him
train under?
Okay. Because Russ is also, even though he's a good quarter, he's not who he used to be.
Time is undefeated.
But the Saints drafted the boy out of Louisville, who is 25. He'll be 26 to start of the season.
That's old.
He's 25. He'll be 26 to start of the season. He's had, and the reason he's that old and just coming out of college, he's played 6 college seasons. He's been injured. This was his first official season where he didn't get hurt. He didn't tore ACLs. He didn't tore his Achilles. Not Achilles. He didn't tore his ACLs. He didn't crack the clavicle, left clavicle, twice. Last time I checked, once you crack this, that is always a vulnerable thing.
Always. That means you are put together with spit and masking tape.
That is something that breaks very easily for a quarterback. Because it ain't nothing for a 315-pound man to tackle you and then fall on you following through with that tackle. But anyway, they drafted Joe Burrow. That's it. Who? Cleveland went out and they got Kenny Pickett, who used to play for the Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. He plays for Philly. Joe Flacco plays for Philly. They went and drafted Dylan Gabriel. Oh, let's not forget Deshaun Watson is still there as well. And then they drafted Shedeur.
Boy, that Deshaun Watson stock has been.
Hey, man, Shedeur is not even in position to be a backup. He is fighting to stay on the roster.
At this point, yeah.
Do you understand that?
Trying to stay alive.
So that's why I'm saying what we witnessed, and I'm just talking football sense, but let's just talk common sense on this part of it. If you really watched him play,
right,
boy can flat out play. He can flat out sling football. He makes plays. He keeps the ball. Does he hold the ball a little bit long? Sure, sometimes. But that's because he's just trying to make plays. So did Big Ben.
So did McNair.
So did McNair.
Yep.
But I said this. You need one and you don't take him. All right, that's you. Maybe y'all have an agenda. Every team who needed him passed on him. You know how many times the Cleveland Browns passed on Shedeur Sanders before they drafted him?
How many times?
6.
Which makes me wonder, why did they come and pick him up?
He's a hot commodity. What the NFL knows, even if they don't like him, the boy gonna sell tickets. The boy gonna sell jerseys. The boy gonna have viewership up.
Yep.
Don't nobody, Cleveland ain't have nothing to watch for next year. We've seen the best of Deshaun Watson. Do we really think he's going to get better? No. Is Joe Flacco finna go back and find his old Baltimore Raven days? No.
Nope.
Kenny Pickett going to all of a sudden remember how to play quarterback? No. The fact that I heard people saying Shedeur Sanders is comparable to a Kenny Pickett, I was ready to slap folks. None of that's happened. Truth be told, if you put them all on the field and you give them a fair fair chance, a fair shot, Shedeur smoking everybody. Dylan Gabriel doesn't even have good arm strength. He threw so many flutter balls, it's ridiculous.
Should
So,
give Shedeur a good line with a good running back.
They have Nick Chubb. They went out and drafted 2 more running backs before they drafted Shedeur. By the way, here's my last little bit of proof. Over 4,000 yards this year. If I'm not mistaken, LeJontay Wester and what's some other guy? But it was 2 other receivers. I think they both had over 1,000 yards as well. So if you got a quarterback who throws for over 4,000, you got 2 receivers who throw for who catch for over 1,000 yards. Let me ask you a question. Do you know which college team had the most receivers drafted?
I don't know.
Colorado.
Oh, because Deion had 8 kids that went, 4 drafted and 4 that went undrafted, right? He had 8 kids.
But they had the most wide receivers drafted, not signed, free agent ones.
Yeah. Gosh.
Here's the thing, though. Shedeur went 5th, and the rest of the receivers went 6th and 7th. How is it? If they were so bad, why'd you take the whole offense, the whole passing attack? You took 3 receivers and a quarterback.
It couldn't have been that bad.
But they didn't go until 5th, 6th, 7th round.
Is this an indictment against Deion?
This is definitely against Deion. I told you what I saw with him and when they were tuning in, it wasn't just Shedeur that they were the only reason that they were tuning in. They wanted to see Deion be humiliated. This country has become something ugly. They will give the viewership just to watch somebody that they hate. And that's where it's at now. And it's not just the fans. I told you.
Yep.
They don't like that they can't control him now. See, he's in a position of power. He's not just a player anymore.
Nope.
He's in a position of power now. And Deion don't need the NFL. Nope. Not only that, I heard word that other coaches said they didn't want to draft him. They didn't want to draft Shedeur because if it didn't work out, it's a possibility that their job could be on the line and Deion could replace them. I'm going to say this. Hey, dog. Hey, dog. Come here. Come here. Hey, dog. I can still have your job if I want it. That's where it's at. Whether you draft his son or not, he can still take your job if he wanted to.
Yep.
But you see people moving out of fear now. And it has blackened the eye of the NFL. This, to me, I probably would say is worse than Kaepernick.
That's a high-class lynching.
I'm going to say it's worse because you did it to a kid.
Yep.
He just turned 23. He just turned 23 in February. You did it to a kid. Everybody who got a chance to celebrate, be with family, wear their cap, show their love to their team and everything. Right. You took that moment from him. You had him sitting outside his house throwing footballs around, waiting on the phone call. He's just streaming on his own platform, but he's hiding from the NFL world, because I think he kind of knew he was going to be played. I know a lot of people want to say, well, they didn't have legal representation with an agent. I think he kind of knew that he was going to be played.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible and an egregious error of what they did to Shedeur Sanders. But I want us to pay attention.
Yeah, because his dad was their agent. Deion was Shiloh's and Shedeur's agent. Just Shiloh made a change recently.
You know, he cracked that joke too. We had Dad as a Shiloh is funny too, by the way. Shiloh is funny. You see him when he was sitting there with his sister and his mama, and he cranked up "Must Be the Money."
Yeah.
And his mama's just standing in the background rolling her eyes. He cuts it up even loud and start dancing like me. Shiloh is petty and he funny.
Must be the Friday.
It ain't just fame. His dad has power now.
Mm-hmm.
His dad he's at a university now, and he has the backing of the AD and the president. And whatever he wants, Colorado will make it happen.
Deion is the king of Colorado.
You have that kind of power, the NFL looks at you differently now.
Deion brought black folks to Colorado. That's what he brought, because wasn't nobody black up there.
He was a movement.
Yep.
He is a movement. I'm gonna be real with you. Florida State sucked this year. I spent more time watching Colorado this year. I would tell my wife, what time we play? She was like, what you mean we? You know who we are. Florida State sucks this year. Yep. I'm a Buffalo this year.
I love the colors. I do. I love the colors.
Hey, man.
But I want to give it up for Travis too, man, because Travis worked hard. Travis went in. Well, I don't remember when Travis went. What round did Travis go in?
Travis was the very first round, the number 2 pick.
By
the way, did you know Cleveland could have drafted him and still gotten Shedeur? They chose to trade back so they can get some extra picks. But you could have had Travis and Shedeur. But that also means you make Colorado in Ohio now, and they didn't want that. No. We don't want to give them that kind of power. No. We don't want to give them that. I'm telling you, it is bigger than it's an undertone of race involved.
Yep.
But the main thing is power and control.
Yep. Race, power, control. It's a racism is always a power dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a power dynamic. So.
It's more complex than just pulling the race card. That's why I never wanted to lead with it's a black and white thing. I never wanted to lead it because it's a more complex thing than that.
But we can see it's a race thing too. So
race is a part of it though.
Yep.
But it's a power thing. It's a power and control thing. And bottom line is you can't control Shedeur Sanders.
Nope.
And you can't control a black man who has his own and don't need you for anything. Shedeur Sanders is there to do nothing but play football.
Yep.
He makes his money off the field doing everything else. He popular amongst you because he's only 23. So he has the 17 to 24 range audience.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's America's sweetheart, he's been in the eye of the country all his life, pretty much.
Yep.
We can go back and find footage of him and Deion having heart-to-heart moments with Shedeur. Might have been like 8, 9 years old.
Yep.
So he's been in front of the camera all this time. So he's like our nephew. So he has a connection to 17 to 24-year-olds, and in the 25 to 35 range, that's nephew. Little bruh. 40 plus. He is nephew for damn sure.
And the boy can play.
And flat out, he can play.
He can play. He's not a dummy. He's smart. He's very intelligent. He can read. He can read the defense. He can read. He knows how to make adjustments.
Now they say he didn't come prepared to. They some team leaked some information, said they sent him a scheme or whatever, and said they wanted him to come up with some stuff, and he showed up unprepared or whatever. Listen, man, I always tell folks, the NFL, they're going to do what they want to do. You can't tell them nothing. Mm-hmm. But there is more than just footage. There is proof that this boy can play.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't want to watch it. You didn't want to look. You wanted to see it for yourself. So you thought, oh, well, let's have him come here and work out and do these drills and this and that. And he told y'all no.
NFL.
One workout at the University of Colorado, and that was it. They didn't like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, They want you to remain a nigga for life.
That's what Kaepernick meant. It wasn't the act of being a slave. When Kaepernick said the combine is like a preparation for, it's a slavery-like kind of mentality.
Yep.
They used to sell slaves, but you can't sell slave without knowing what they're good at. So you had to say, well, this one can do X, Y, and Z, and he's a big, strong X, Y, and Z, and he can tote this much weight, and he can move this fast, and he can pick this much and do this. And it's the same thing. Well, out of college, he's 6'4", 270 pounds. He runs a 4.4. He can tackle this and this and that. He's also he has big hands. They got the measurement of the hands, measurement of the feet, measurement of the torso, how high your vertical. They have everything on record. There's nothing that they don't know about you.
Hey, whoa! Even Jerry Jones knows the length and the girth of the penises of his players.
You're right about that. You are right about that. Let that be known. I done seen a few of them, and honestly, really, sometimes I have to I say, hey, fella, listen. That's so inappropriate.
There you go.
That's so.
Hey, Grannee, you see what it's like when you're not here?
That's so inappropriate. Oh my God.
Educated. Definitely not medicated. We are in this thing.
Shout out to TD Jakes, man. He stepped down as leader from the Potter's house in Dallas, man, and handed that thing over to his daughter and his son-in-law, and they're gonna run it. I know he's coming back from a medical episode. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's still kind of nerve-wracking to see him like that because I'm used to seeing a, strong, solid man, but you can tell some things have gotten a hold to him. Father Time has not been kind. That being said, though, showing him some love. Anyway, last words on Shedeur, man. What's your thoughts on the entire situation? How it played out on social media?
I think that is sad, but it's not anything that we're not used to as people of color, Black people in this country. Sad that it still happens, but in this day and time, we're seeing a backlash of anything that's Black progressiveness. We're seeing Black progressiveness being pushed to the back. So it's to be expected and it's sad. That's what
I'll say this. It was sickening what I watched. To the social media commenters, I know some folks are still like, why y'all still talking? Because you don't get it. But at the same time, this is our first and last time addressing it on this show. We're not doing this no more. But we did want to get our 2 cents in. And the main reason I even chose to do this days later, because you don't get it. And it don't matter what your skin complexion is. I've seen Black and white say some of the most foolish, coonish things I've heard come out of folks. I've seen some Black folks do some real cooning trying to side them for. You can't go up in there and act like Massa when he tell you that you got to do this and this. You can't go up and act like you better than that. Why the fuck? I'm good at what I do.
Diamond and Silk. I'm sorry.
I don't see. You can't just go up in there. This is a job interview still. You got to go up in here with some respect. And you can't just go up in there in the kind of way and act like you better than this. Why? If I am.
Oh, they want you to shuck and jive.
I'm not going to shuck and jive for nobody. Listen, see, that's what they keep on to say. It's like job interviews. Let's be honest with you. If you had 32 job offers in front of you, and you're gonna sit here and act like you don't have the right to decide who you want to work for, who you even want to entertain, who you do and don't want to interview, because interviews take time. Why would I want to waste my time and I know I don't want to be here?
That's true.
Keep it a buck. See, y'all not thinking about this stuff right, bro. You too concerned about doing this the coonish way. We gotta make sure you move the way Mouse say move. Listen. If I know I have 32 opportunities in front of me, and I know I'm the best of the best.
Cherry pick the best opportunities for you.
Guess what? I'm not going to sit here and give the same interview for all 32. Matter of fact, I'm not interviewing for all 32 because I know there are some of you I don't want to work for. So I will say, hey, Mr. Sanders, hey, we wanted to. No, I don't think that's a good idea. Thank you. Appreciate you. Or if I do, and instead of you actually showing like you want me, your attitude is you act like you're doing me a favor, I'm good.
Bye.
That's why I said be real about this. But you can't think like that because you're stuck in your lacoonish ways. And for you that don't look like us, I would never expect you to understand what it is.
Nope.
So
Don't
stop
have a
speaking
clue.
on us.
Don't have a clue.
He's no good. You no good. Your wife is telling everybody. She's in a Facebook chat group right now telling people how you can't stroke worth a damn. But you want to talk about who ain't good. Okay.
For a moment, I thought you were talking about Pete Hegseth. His own mama said he trash.
Bro, Hegseth is that man supposed to be on his way to jail. Ain't no way in the world that they didn't. What was it in Germany? They found 2 spies.
Yes.
And his
their
number is in their
phone, which means that they're able to get into his signal and get that's
anyway. I'm not gonna fuck my night up with that.
Yeah, whatever. Look, that's for another time. I'm not gonna drink tonight. I'm just gonna we gonna just keep it.
Ooh, Lord,
because we have mediocre, entitled, and inept people who are against DEI, and they are the DEI.
I want to put this back
we're not
up.
gonna talk about that.
Before we get out of here, man, I want to put this back up again, man. Jayhawk.
Support Grannee.
There you go. Speak your piece on Grannee, man.
Support our Grannee. There she is. She had an accident, y'all. So let's show my girl some love.
Definitely need that, man. Definitely need the love right now. Like I said, Cheryl is immobile right now. She's still in the hospital. She broke her leg. And when I say broke, like I said, it was a real break. I ain't talking about like a simple hairline fracture. Like it was a real break.
It was serious.
But the hustler, the mover, the shaker is immobile right now, and that affects her financially. And so right now, like I said, somebody who shows up constantly for others, shows love for others constantly. This is your chance to show some love back. So when you see that link in the comments, man, click on that link. Also, like I said, the post has been reposted on my Facebook page. That's Dwayne Sutton. And I will put it on the Iron World Media Group Facebook page as well. Though we are moving away from those platforms, I need you. We need you.
Yep.
To go to the Iron World Media Group YouTube page and subscribe
right now.
And then take this link from that page and share it. Send it to your friends, your family, your coworkers, somebody, because we got that word for them. There are more shows coming. One more time. There are more shows coming.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
There are more shows coming. Iron Woe Podcast will be back. I'm coming back with the interviews. It's going to be me going one-on-one with some folks. If you have anybody that you think has a story to tell, anybody that you think needs to have a word that needs to be spread, and listen to me. I talk to any and everybody. I'm not restricted to sports, and I'm not restricted to strictly Black topics. I love to talk to women. I love to talk to professionals. If there's anything we need to be aware of, make our communities aware of, I want to do those interviews. So Iron Will Podcast will be coming back with the interviews. It's going to be me sitting down one-on-one with some special people, man.
Yep.
So
guys, remember, tell them like, comment, and subscribe.
Subscribe. Iron Will Media Group. It's growing. It's evolving. Jump in now while you can. Don't be one of them folks that come on later on down the line. I've always been with them.
We'll take the bandwagoners too, but guys, look, hey, if we blessed you tonight, if you've been entertained, if we've wet your whistle for content and knowledge and having fun, go ahead and give us a like.
Please do. Please do. Please
go ahead
do.
and consider following us.
Please do.
And
also
to all your friends.
If you have you want to talk about anything, you have questions about anything, you need some advice about some things. Listen, we have a line. Give us a call here. 404-941-6195. Also, if you think you got what it takes to get on camera with us, we're looking to grow, but hey, be ready to work.
Let's go.
Let's do it. With that being said, J-Hawk, last words.
Hey, like, comment, subscribe. This right here, we're on our way to our first 100,000, and we want you to be a part of it. So
say that then. Appreciate you, man. Look, Cheryl, we held it down. Grannee, your boys did good. I didn't cuss. I didn't go over 50 times, I don't think.
I don't see her in the chat anymore.
I think we did all right. The FCC not coming for us. YouTube ain't shut down.
I may have said a word or two.
All right, man. It's Warriors J-Hawk. We were unsupervised. We ran amok for a little minute. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. We will see y'all next week. Booyah. Here on the 4040 Network.
Boom.
Hey, baby. We out.
Out.